Over the years, cyberbullying has become a serious issue. Social media has become a pastime for many, and it has a large influence on the way we live. Cyberbullying can be defined as the use of electronic media to bully an individual. This is usually done through sending messages on social networks such as Facebook, Twitter, or Tumblr that can be seen as intimidating or of a threatening nature. Whilst this form of media does enable children and young adults to communicate with friends quickly and efficiently, it is not necessarily as confidential as it may seem. There are various factors that attribute to cyberbullying and its many forms. It is important to be aware of the inherent dangers associated with cyberbullying that can cause harm to an individual, whether it be a form of psychological harm, such as depression or anxiety, which, depending on the severity, can lead to recurring hospitalisation sessions, or at worst, having one commit suicide. There are ways in which we can reduce these numbers and prevent cyberbullying over time, whether it be an individual's action alone or as a cohort in schools. There are many programs available to those who are or have been cyberbullied, and it is important that each individual suffering has access to them. There is an array of factors which can influence one to become a bully. Some of these include children who are brought up within a dysfunctional family, the need for social control, to gain power and to have a sense of winning. Social rejection and personal history also play a role when it comes to an individual bullying another child or adolescent. Teenagers who come from backgrounds where family violence has become second nature to them grow up learning that it is okay to use violence against people. It is important, however, to acknowledge that in some cases these adolescents may have had some form of physical or verbal abuse, which can cause them to become a more aggressive and an emotional being with a fragile state of mind, and in this case the bully is a victim also. It has been found that families that have been characterised by a clear imbalance of power and aggression between members, children start to learn to dominate others and might even be encouraged in doing so. During their work, Kowalski, Limber and Agatstatston identify flaming, cyber harassment, denigration, impersonation, outing and trickery, exclusion, ostracism, and cyberstalking as subcategories of cyberbullying. They also suggest that there is a relationship between certain types of online abuse and the preferred electronic environment for them. The two most common forms of cyberbullying are known to be flaming and denigration. Flaming is when there is a short heated exchange between two or more people, typically in chat rooms, whereas denigration is where one spreads untrue or deprecating information via web page, email, or instant messaging. As mentioned previously, cyberbullying can be an inherent danger to the victim. Chief Executive of Beyond Blue, Kate Carnell, reported on ABC News that bullying via social media can be a major factor in triggering mental health issues. Former model and cyberbullying advocate Charlotte Dawson experienced a heavy wave of cyberbullying to the point where she was receiving a torrent of abuse and harassment that eventually caused her to commit suicide. 2012 saw Dawson admitted and hospitalised after an attempt to commit suicide. It was found and noted that one troll had even encouraged her to hang herself. It is of high importance that if one is experiencing suicidal thoughts or they are experiencing cyberbullying, they seek help as soon as possible. It is also urged that if one is suffering, not to go through it alone, that it is better to speak out than to not say anything. People think, I should be able to manage this all by myself, but bullying needs to be reported.
You're a dumb, whiny, sheltered. You should follow the world's advice and kill yourself. Die, Charlotte. Please put your face into a toaster. Die, Charlotte. Please do the world a favour and go hang yourself. Die, Charlotte.
Charlotte Dawson, pushed beyond breaking point by online bullies.
I just felt so attacked and so helpless.
On 60 Minutes, how a vile hate campaign made her life a living hell.
I think it's a fight I've lost.
60 Minutes, Sunday.
Bullying used to be held in the playgrounds at school during recess and lunch times. However, today, things have extended beyond that. No longer does the bully have a face, but rather a URL. You don't need a black eye to be bullied. Physical and verbal violence are becoming less frequent these days, with individuals having more satisfaction belittling individuals over social networking sites, where everyone can see what is happening. However, we must acknowledge that there are many programs in schools today that are trying to eliminate any form of bullying, and it is important that these programs remain available so students experiencing cyberbullying have a place to go to for help. Reviews of school-based programs suggest single-level programs are unlikely to provide an effective solution due to the systematic and complex nature of bullying. The evidence collected also suggests that a multidisciplinary whole-school interventions are the most effective means to prevent and manage bullying behaviour. The use of ICT when implementing these programs to combat cyberbullying would be highly beneficial. As discussed, social networking and media is an area of our lives that in today's day and age we struggle to live without, and so through presenting topics in relation to cyberbullying and showing cases through the use of Facebook, Twitter and Tumblr, students would be able to identify with this. Also, teachers could use this medium as a way of completing activities throughout not only the programs but in classrooms as well when teaching students about this topic. As a guide for teachers, there is a table available to implement strategies to avoid any bullying occurring in the future and building a more supportive environment in the classroom, so that if students are going through cyberbullying, when they come into the classroom they feel safe and happy and ready to learn despite what is happening outside. It is important within a teacher's role that he or she realises also that they have a responsibility not only for the students' physical and social well-being, but also their psychological well-being. One of the principles of learning and teaching connects closely with this topic. It is that the learning environment is supportive and productive. This applies not only to programs that schools are able to run, but even more so within the classroom. This can be linked with the teaching of cyberbullying and the effects that it has on those who are victims of it. Students who come to school and can see that the topic is being addressed and ICT is being used as a medium for it, when explaining it, it can make it more real for students who haven't been affected. Those who have been victimised, this supportive environment can possibly help the student not to feel alone, and that something is being done about cyberbullying. Through this, the teacher is then able to build a positive relationship with the class and also develop a rapport with each individual student. Through teaching in this way about the topic, it can in some cases allow the teacher to determine the root cause of certain individuals' behaviour, as this topic will most likely generate discussion amongst peers. Overall, cyberbullying can be an inherent danger to those who are victimised. There are ways we can reduce the rates of suicide that occur as well as the number of children being bullied. Today we are lucky that more and more programs are becoming available to those who have experienced cyberbullying and would like to get some help, or even if the bully themselves need help. The programs are available to both parties. Within the classroom, it is important to recognise cyberbullying, and this can be done as mentioned through the use of ICT. Through doing this, it relates to the principles of learning and teaching. If teachers and staff do not continue with discussions in class and progression of programs in schools, we will be unable to reduce the chances of cyberbullying occurring in the future.